Hi, and welcome to this class on mental and emotional health. I commend you for being brave and choosing to be here to open the idea of what is mental and emotional health and how do I know if I'm out of balance. So one of the indications for me that I need some balancing of these components of my inner life is that I've noticed that I'm on autopilot. I notice that I'm not really making a lot of conscious decisions, but that I'm in a reactive state. So things are coming at me, different circumstances, different triggers, and all I am in is this reactive state, this super high arousal state of responding. And with the tools today, what I'm hoping to do is create a little space in your experience so that we're not in a impulsive reactionary state, but instead we're creating a way to approach life where we can be more conscious, create more decisions in between the impulses. Okay, we're not in a high state of reactivity. And when we go all the way into the brain and the body on a biological level, when we're in this reactionary state, we're often functioning from the sympathetic nervous system. So you may have heard of fight, flight, or freeze. And those are ways that we react to situations that keep us safe. That when they talk about the days we were back in the bush, our ancestors, and when we were hunters and gatherers, that kind of reaction to our environment kept us from being killed. Okay, but now fast forward to right now, and our bodies and our nervous system don't know the difference between physical stress of a person trying to mug me and the stress that comes from like psychological stress from perhaps my job that's high demand or my family life that is high demand. The psychological stress that accompanies these modern situations still has a strong effect on my biology and can lead me to function more from the sympathetic nervous system than from the parasympathetic nervous system. And it's important to have a balance of these two. The parasympathetic nervous system is our rest and digest. And you might notice that perhaps it's not optimally functioning if you have a really hard time going to sleep at night, if you can't necessarily just sit still. And I think for a lot of us, we don't know how to turn off our sympathetic nervous system. So what we're going to do today is an easy kind of exercise to perhaps move you from a reactive state into a calmer, more responsive, receptive state. And I say that with all the well wishes for you, yet our experience is going to be our own. We're not judging our experience, simply watching and observing our experience. So the way that we approach a lot of our life is in this constant state of observation and evaluation. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it right or is it wrong? And what we're going to do in our practice of deepening self-awareness and observation is we're going to create a little space between observation and evaluation. We're going to try to stay in this kind of listening, receptive state of observation to see what's going on, moving things from an unconscious level to a more conscious level. So this may not make a whole lot of sense until we get into the practices, especially if you're brand new to this. But I do have some tools included here. One is the sensation list, and another is an emotion list. So from my work, I've been doing yoga for about 20 years, and I've been studying mindfulness. Gosh, now it's probably been about 7 years of studying mindfulness, maybe 8, and teaching it probably for the last 3, maybe you're on 3, but from all these years of study and really putting it through the test of my life and all the challenges that I've faced. Ask me live if you want to hear about some of those. I really know that these will support you and keep you in a state of constant surfing the waves of life. Okay? That we can be in a state of craziness, use these tools, and stay with the craziness. Notice what's important and not important. Notice what deserves an immediate response and when we can kind of just lean back into what we're feeling. And so these emotion and sensation lists are meant to give you a language, give you a way to explain, digest, understand your experience through words. Because sometimes we can't understand what's going on with us without the right word. And when you find the right word, it is a beautiful thing. So look over the sensation words, look over the emotion words, especially if you do this practice multiple times. What you might find is that perhaps right now I have a feeling of tiredness. And that's what I think of when I'm not in a open, receptive state. I'm like, oh, I'm tired. And then I sit down and I do my practice, tuning into what's inside of me. And I notice that it's more like weary. It's more like being worn out than a physical sense of tiredness. And there are these subtleties in these words that can help us really digest and move along our experience, or really sit with it and feel what's alive. And neither of these, nothing on there, no emotion word, no sensation word is good or bad. And so all of this perspective really is through a lens of mindfulness, of non-judging if it's good or bad, simply being with what's present, what's alive, what's in the awareness right now. Okay, so we're going to do that on a mental, emotional level in the next video.